Good morning, everybody. It's Mary. You know, I did a video the other day telling a story, which I'll share again. Then I just went and got rid of a bunch of videos because my phone was so full and I deleted it by mistake. So I'll have to do it over again, but it's okay. It's easy to tell this little story, which I'll add here in a second. I'm just putting I did my face scrub, and I did and it's full a Saint mask, and then I'm just using my Saint cream, and then I'll do my makeup, and I'll tell you my story in a minute. All right, so my story is, I'm just adding, I did my Versailles, covered up all my spots, and I'm just adding my Athens and my Gold Glow. Tap them in alternately in each one, and tap on. I think I got something else on there. It's right beside my bronzer. I might have tapped into my bronzer. I had to be careful. Feels a bit dark right there. Anyway, my story is, how did Walter and I meet? Everybody we meet, everybody we get to know, or first time, they say, and where did you meet? It's the number one question. I think it's a way of trying to figure out, where's Walter from? So, I gotta move this Gold Glow out of here because it's hitting my bronzer. So in 1984, I was living in White Rock, BC. And I had been off work for about 6 months because I had a gallbladder operation. And this is a preempt to how I met Walter. And I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. And so this opportunity came in the newspaper. And in those days, everybody was looking for work. So it was hard to get a job, and I had just relocated to the Vancouver area. White Rock is a subdivision, or a suburb of Vancouver. A city on its own. But anyway, so I got this job, and they were looking for people to distribute books. And so I started doing it. I tested it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so popular. And I'm going to post a picture of what the book was. It was an encyclopedia of creative cooking. Now, I wouldn't be surprised that some of you have this book. And you'll see when I have the picture. It's a big book. It was sold in Canada for $19.99. The States is sold for $14.99. And it was a big red book with a cover on it, Encyclopedia of Creative Cooking. So it was a fellow out of Ontario that decided to take this book out of publication and reproduce it. And he produced a whole bunch and hired people to run these different areas, Vancouver, and for one, and Toronto and all kinds of different areas, and hire people to distribute them to offices. We would take them around to medical offices, schools, wherever there was an office of people. It didn't matter where. And in those days, you could go anywhere. There was no security. It was pretty awesome. And if there was security, we knew how to get around it. But anyway, it was really, really fun. And it was great, great money. First week I did it, I made $1,700 selling cookbooks. And it was so easy because what we would do, we'd take the book with a form, an order form with lines, and who paid, etc., and give it to the receptionist. And she would share the book, put it in the lunchroom or whatever, and share the book with the staff. And we give her a free book for everyone, 10 she sold. Well, literally, I've got some offices sold hundreds of books. Medical offices, the cancer clinic in Victoria I finally worked in, and doctor's offices, dentist's office. I even delivered books, if you can believe it, to the 5th floor surgical floor in a hospital in Victoria. Victoria, BC. And I had a lady in the cancer clinic, I still remember her name, it was Pat Coulter. And she would take the books and share them and put them on the lunchroom. And she must have made a lot of money, you know, unless she was kind and gave the fifth one away, I don't know. But anyway, I remember going to the surgical floor with all these books. And when you go someplace like that, you have to act like you belong there, right? So here I am with these maybe 5 books, I can't remember at the time, under my arm. They weighed about 5 pounds a book, right? They were a heavy book because they were about that thick, right? And seeing doctors and running around on the surgical floor with the things on their feet, and I'm not sure if I didn't have to put those on. Anyway, I deliver these books to this nurse in this office on the surgical floor, and then off I'd go. And what we'd typically do is leave enough books on Monday, and then we'd take orders through the week and pick them up Friday. So they're sitting out there breeding like rabbits, and I even had the security guard in the courthouse. He had a storage room, and he was retiring, and he put the books in there. And of course, all the women loved this guy, and he was an older gentleman ready to retire, and he was having the greatest time. Don't think he ever sold anything in his life. He was having the greatest time supplying these books to all these gals that just thought he was awesome, right? So much fun, guys. And then, you know, some of these boxes, like 10 books in a box was about 50 pounds, and I would have a dolly with 10 boxes of books, and I'd deliver them to an office. And you had to, downtown area, for instance, you had to park your car and then have this dolly and push it, and you get to a curb, and it's hard to pull it back up. And that was just a little bitty thing. I would be about 40-ish then. And of course, along comes some man in a suit and his briefcase, and probably a lawyer or somebody, and making big money. And here's I'm troubling with my dolly of books. Little did he know I was making really good money. Not some poor little peddler. Anyway, that was my story, selling books. So then what happened, I took over the Vancouver office because that person then went to Seattle to run it in Seattle. And I took over the Vancouver office and all the salespeople and managed that. And then I had the opportunity to go to the States and open up an office. And I chose Portland. My daughter came with me, her boyfriend came with me, and we rented a condo or a townhouse. We got a hotel room. We got a warehouse. We got an office in the warehouse. We got it all set up and started hiring people. And that's where I hired Walter. Walter applied for the job because he's going through a transition in his life. Just separated from his wife and had a 6-year-old, 5-year-old, I guess, his son, and then needed, of course, something to do, so he's looking for something, and he had a couple of other options he was looking at and decided against them. And so I hired Walter, and that was the beginning of my big change in my life. But I'm not going to share that story because this will take too long. That'll be my next story, how I met Walter. But anyway, the book business changed my life. Some of you may have done that in your life. I know I ran across one lady in the U.S. Can't think of her name right now, but she had sold cookbooks like we did in Canada. So we were working in the States illegally, of course. Can you imagine? I've always been a bit of a risk taker, but it worked out. And really nobody knew. You know, it was kind of a funny time, actually. I'm using Tiger Lily on my cheeks, in case you're wondering. My skin lately has been quite good. I'm really pleased. So that's Tiger Lily. And I'm going to put a little bit of... I'm going to go for a walk. I'm not going to do my eyebrows because I'm going to wear a ball cap. Because I'm going for a walk, and it's kind of windy out there, and put a little bit of sunshine on my nose with my Angel Illuminator. A little bit on my chin, a little bit on my cubic's bowl, like that. I'm not even going to do eyeshadow today. And what else? I'll put some, I have to do Tiger Balm on my lips. And then something very light. We had a sale on Market here, bacon craft sale. And I bought these little earrings. Aren't they cute? From a lady here that creates them. And they had all kinds of really nice things. I should have taken some pictures I could have shown you. All kinds of crafts. Really clever ones. Purses. Beautiful purses. I can't believe the person made them. And put lipstick on my teeth. Anyway, I'll catch up with you guys after. And so that's my story for today. And I'll elaborate on that tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.